Paul, after last week's disappointing result against Ballyclare, we've got another massive test on Saturday away to Warrenpoint. I don't know why you know much about them this season or not, but they did make it difficult for us here when they came here about 2 months ago. Yep. And the way you've been obviously researching them, obviously how they're getting on this season themselves, but it is going to be a massive test for us on Saturday.
No, it definitely is. Let's see, they're the Premiership team coming down. Look at Premiership players. I'm sure they're boys who want to be back there. We've had them watched. They were very unlucky against Dundee last week. Played real good football on Wolga Park, which is really tight pitch, as you know. And they've got some really key players, so there's no question it's going to be a good game for us to test what we're doing. Obviously, the disappointment of Friday night against Ballyclare we have to get over very quickly, and there's no better place against the team which will probably be arguably the team they beat this season in the championship.
Now, how are the boys' morale after last Friday night? Because I mean, we talked about it on Friday night after the game. I mean, we didn't expect that result. We knew they were going to make it difficult for us, but how is the team morale after 2 training sessions after Friday?
It seems fine. In fairness, they've trained well this week. But since I've come on, they've trained really well all the time. They're good, they're receptive to the information and learning. And obviously, in this facility here, it's a great place to work. So I have no complaints about the players. It's just that we need to transfer some aggression, emotion, and that intensity that was lacking on Friday night. And in fairness, when we have setbacks, we have to learn to deal with them as well. You know, we had a setback earlier on in that game, and we didn't really recover from it. And then there's a couple of people maybe looking around, but that's as a result of what's been going on in the last period. And so we're trying our best to help the players, and they're going to give their best, and I have no doubt they'll do the same on Saturday.
Now, you did touch briefly on Friday night there. You're obviously considering maybe making some changes for Saturday's game. Will that be still the case for Friday? If you obviously have a certain game plan going down there, because they are obviously going to come out all traps going for us right from the start. Is that going to be obviously the goal going down there, even to try and get something? Because with now Dergview winning at the weekend, they're obviously right up our backsides now. They're putting the pressure on us. Is that going to be the same sort of mentality going down there for Saturday?
Well, of course we want to get people games. We've talked about it. At the end of the day, the players have been training regularly and training well, and people are coming back to fitness, so it's only right that we give them opportunities. Plus then we have to make changes, because obviously Scott Davison and James McCarthy are injured, so they're out, so it's only natural we'll make changes. So we will make a couple of changes here, the players adjust and give them that opportunity to show what they can do, and then get that game done on Saturday, and then obviously go into Ballyclare on Tuesday. But the most important thing is we get a performance, and we get that application that we had at Knockbreda, where we went about their business well, and we had the advantage that day because we got ahead, and it gives the players a lift, and we carried the game well that day. We worked hard, we got a nice momentum on it, and we need to do the same on Saturday. But we're going to go and try and, well, we will give it our best. We've got a good set of players here. We've obviously got goals in the team. Like Michael McLean last year, for example, was the leading goal scorer in the championship, and we're hoping he comes back to form soon. Spike's now coming back. So I'm really pleased with what we've got up front, and I think them boys would fit on any championship team.
Now, you just touched on briefly with James McCarthy and Scott went off the weekend. Is there any update on those boys? What's the sort of status with them now?
Well, they've got wear and tear injury, so them boys have been playing a lot and putting a good shift on, so they probably need a bit of rest. So they'll not be playing, I wouldn't think, on Tuesday. Doubt it for the Ards game as well. So it's just a case of managing them. But we have a good enough squad, and we're going to now look at some of the 21s as well who've been doing really well. There's some good young players there, and they probably deserve a chance. So we're going to blood them and see what they can do. And we're obviously now going in the key period at Christmas time, where we've 10 games in 8 weeks, and we want to try and get as many points as we can before the window opens up in January time, and then we'll assess where we're at that players when we can, at that point when we can bring in some new players.
It is going to be tough over the next few days. I mean, we've got Warrenpoint away, and then a few days later we're at Ballyclare again. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fatigue in the boys. Obviously 2 matches in the space of days, and 2 massive games as well.
Yeah, they're all big games. See, the 10, the next game's the biggest game. Warrenpoint's the biggest. Ballyclare's the biggest. So that's where it's going to be. So we will freshen up. That's really natural. We have a lot of players who are experienced, so I think we might need to rest a couple on Tuesday night, for example. But again, I'm more interested in Saturday first. I've kind of got a strategy for the 3 games, if I'm to tell you the truth. So, and I've spoke to the staff about it, and I've kind of informed people what we're doing as well, because we want to give people the best opportunity to show what they can do, and that's what we're doing on Saturday. And as I says, we're in this league not just to make up on numbers, we're in to be competitive. Now, we recognise where we're at the minute, and we have to do something about that. So will that take time? Possibly, but at the same time we have to be patient. But in these days, people aren't patient. They want instant success and results. I can understand that. There's disappointments when we lose. But as I say, I'm staying steady. I've total confidence that the team will do well. We've got good players, and I think we'll get better.